picking up a water bottle and flinging it in the most non-manly way possible. I couldn't ask for something better to make Jovi look like an idiot. It's pretty funny. So. Gino crashes the party and Jasmine flips out, but you will have to wait and see this mashup of a frat/sorority party that they drummed up for drama. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. Thank you so much for the support. Let's get right into it because the drama just can't wait.
Of my mind right now because I'm excited to see the other couples and I'm hoping that they can help us kind of find a way forward together.
So you're waiting for the other couples to see if they can somehow make it work for you and Georgie? Yeah, I think it's deeper than that, but of course she's trying to remain relevant in the 90-day universe, which is not shocking. Brandon looks crazy.
Okay.
Brandon looks like he just got done caddying the back nine for a rich guy and he's running off to get him some cool beverage to drink.
Did you bartender and that's your hooker? Did someone call us strippers? Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So she's definitely trying to do the whole stripper Vegas thing and make this like some sort of tagline that she's doing like she got with Natalie when they had their little interaction. Of course, some of that comes back because what do you know? They might actually bring Natalie into the tell-all.
Honestly, I'm excited to be away from my children.
Sure.
And to have time alone with my husband.
Now, I'm getting a hint of sarcasm there, but of course, she may actually think she'll get some time alone because that's how delusional she is. When in reality, of course, the whole point of this is not only are we going to have the tell-all, which is going to bring a lot of drama anyway, but now we have to ramp it up a little bit and shove them all in a house so we can get things going before they come to the tell-all each day to really ramp it up. This is an interesting play, but you know what? I do have to respect it a little bit from 90 Day Fiancé. They said, hold my beer, here's what we're going to do.
Before they went to Last Resort, she had a relationship with that guy.
Of course.
Talking about Jasmine, and I don't disagree here, but the funny thing is Jasmine's already here. Somehow, these 5 or 6 people got together, started talking about Jasmine, and she's nowhere to be found. It's almost like they got her separate to do this, or she's okay with them doing it because some of this is definitely playing to the drama. That wouldn't shock me at all. But of course, he's also right here in that she definitely had a relationship with Matt before they went to the Last Resort. I mean, is anyone still thinking that they were just platonic friends hanging out at the gym all day, every day? I mean, it's like the plot to a movie.
Did you sleep with Matt before you went to Last Resort?
I wanted to ask this question too, and of course you're gonna say no. I mean, you're not gonna say yes.
Yeah.
I will say yes if I did.
Yeah, she didn't even sound like she was sure of that to herself. So they ask her straight up, or Jovi. You know, of course Jovi's trying to get something going too because he's a drama queen. What they're trying to do is ask her directly, did you actually sleep with him before you went to the Last Resort? No, I didn't. Well, I know you wouldn't tell us. And then she said, I'd tell you. Sure, I'd be honest about it. Yeah, okay, Jasmine. The fact is that while you were at the Last Resort, you were calling Matt to vent to him about the Gino stuff. How much that was staged or not, I don't know. But it's just funny that it happened during, and you're going to say we weren't even remotely close beforehand. It's all pretty clearly out there, and yet you're still trying to lie about it.
I'm not very excited, to be honest, with the thought of that I got to hang out with Jasmine and Matt, possibly.
The interesting thing about this is I have got to wonder what their contracts look like if they break it and don't come to the tell-all, because when they're signing their contract, it has to say you must participate in X amount of episodes, you have to participate in the tell-all. If you don't participate in the tell-all, unless the show says you don't have to, then you get X penalty, which is probably financially, they could sue you, whatever. I don't know what it is. But Gino may want to be there, but some of them, like Loren, definitely look like maybe they would decide not to be there if they could. Either way, I think there would be a lot less people participating in some of these tell-alls if there wasn't some sort of crazy financial downfall if they were to say, I'm not coming.
Our whole 5-year relationship, she threw it out the window after cheating on me.
Okay, listen. I don't disagree that she was sleeping with Matt beforehand and she probably was cheating, but let's go ahead and bring up the fact that Gino decided to say, hey, an open marriage is okay, thinking that that might have something to do with fixing their relationship because he's a stupid person. Not only was he not sleeping with her and being intimate with whatever excuse he said, but he also agreed to something that was quite possibly the final nail in the coffin of their relationship. So he is culpable too. He's trying to play it off like he has no culpability in this. Jasmine's awful, but Gino is not good either, and he definitely played his own role. But go ahead, play the victim. They are neither one of them are the victims. And I don't feel bad for either of them. Jasmine has just been more of a villain this season, but they're both bad.
At a minimum, she's trying to level the playing field and make it seem like you guys are on the same level, and it's just not. It's just not.
If you don't stop her right now, you're gonna have a problem tomorrow because everybody's
This is
gonna be on
hilarious.
Jasmine.
This is this is so funny. Kara and Jovi especially, but Georgie too, are trying to gas up Gino and get him to go say something. They're like, "No, man, you need to do this now. You need to nip this right in the bud." They know damn well that this isn't going to go anywhere. Like, he's going to go out there and say, "Hey, Jasmine, hey, Jasmine, let me tell you something." And she's going to be like, I am so sorry, Gino. I am so sorry for what I did to you." And then he's going to be like, "Hey, Jasmine, you are damn right. You're sorry." And it's going to be that whole kind of crazy interaction where everyone laughs, but it's kind of cringeworthy. Yeah, something like that. But nonetheless, it's not going to happen like that, and they know it. This is simply trying to get some drama going to really kind of either take something off of them or just to keep the show even more relevant because drama works that way, and they want to have jobs forever. So take your pick. What do you think it was? Either way, this did not help anybody other than to create drama.
So Jasmine, you talking about me?
What?
Gino, we're having a nice night. Let's not ruin it.
Let's go ahead and have Elizabeth jump in there. So he comes up. This is his way of basically getting built up by the guys and Kara for some reason, which is another weird thing why Kara is so on his side. But either way, getting built up by them coming up. What he does is he comes out there with his little fruity drink, goes, so Jasmine, I hear you're talking trash about me, and then takes a drink like he's cool or something. And then, of course, Elizabeth has to hop in there, but I'm like, at no point does that make anyone want to confess something to you, say that you were right, Gino, or anything like that. In fact, it makes you want to kind of dig in your heels more to say, what the hell, Gino? No, absolutely not. You're wrong. You lied. It was your fault. Whatever she's going to say, it certainly doesn't make her want to basically bow down and say, I'm sorry. And I don't know what the hell that was he was saying. What do you think was going to happen?
Hey, how about what I'm going through? Because you seem to be very pro-Jasmine right now.
Your approach is not it, Gino.
And Elizabeth would know about approaches. Elizabeth, the queen of drama stirring, while trying to basically put it off on someone else, diverting attention. That's what she is, and yet she knows that what he's doing is not it. I mean, she's not wrong. He is definitely has no good approach whatsoever when it comes to dealing with Jasmine, but Elizabeth saying that is rich, considering she will say something and then basically say, I didn't say that. Nope, I didn't. It's your fault. Nope, not me. You.
I'm not like a furniture dude. I'm a human. He thinks he's very
human.
brave, and I'm gonna
Sure.
eat him alive.
He's very brave. He thinks he's very brave, but I'll eat him alive. You will do nothing except yell and scream and storm off, which is what you do every time. But, I mean, he also is a coward and doesn't really make anyone feel intimidated, so that's kind of funny. But her acting like she's going to actually do something other than say, hold me back from security, that's pretty funny.
You want to be my friend? You have to act that way. Don't
Do you
act
wanna
like a child.
Dude, I want to talk to you.
You're gonna.
This is kind of funny, actually. I will point this part out was pretty funny because what happened was Andrei came up to him and said, what's going on? You blocked me. Of course, they had that big falling out and everything like that where Yara and Jovi and Elizabeth and Andrei, went back and forth. And they said, oh, Yara and Jovi, y'all are always stirring the pot, which Jovi kind of is. I mean, that wasn't, not the truth, but Elizabeth is too. But anyway, they were blocked or whatever. Andrei comes in and say, hey, what's going on? Why'd you block me? He actually came to him in a calm manner. Now, do I think it was manipulated? Probably. But he did the smart thing here by coming at him calm. And Jovi, who cannot handle his liquor as much as he drinks, decided to get emotional and act like a damn fool and look like a frickin' girl. It was pretty funny.
Seriously.
Dude,
So he hits the bottle out of his hand. Then, in turn, Andrei throws it at him. But the camera's not on Andrei. All it's on is Jovi in a bathrobe picking up a water bottle and flinging it in the most non-manly way possible. I couldn't ask for something better to make Jovi look like an idiot. It's pretty funny. So, and Jovi always kind of makes himself look like an idiot. This isn't really surprising. But here particularly, you have to really try to make Andrei look better than you. Because Andrei typically looks bad. In this case, he looks so much better than Jovi, and it was pretty funny.
did I choose you right now to bash you? Do you want to fight? Because I'm here.
I don't want to fight.
Exactly. He doesn't want to fight. And that was the funny thing. Part of that interaction was actually Jovi and Andrei standing side by side. Andrei's kind of with him like, what are you doing here? I can't remember everything he said, but and Jovi's kind of actively trying to back away because he knows he's in too deep. Andrei would beat the tar out of Jovi. It wouldn't even be close. You cannot like Andrei. I don't like Andrei particularly. But Jovi wouldn't stand a chance. He would ragdoll him, and yet Andrei's the one keeping calm, cool, and collected, not look like he's running from it, but actually looking like an adult. Again, you have to try really hard to make Andrei look like the adult one. And Jovi succeeded.
You want to squash it?
I want you to
Is this a man meeting?
And
So you
naturally,
want to squash this now?
Yeah.
Don't disrespect me, and I won't disrespect you, okay?
Nobody did.
What about your wife?
Nobody.
and there it is. So Jovi and Andrei were saying they're going to squash it. That's just because Jovi realized he was in over his head and he couldn't actually have a fight with Andrei because it wouldn't go anywhere. But they're squashing it per se, and they're saying, okay, we're not going to disrespect each other. We're going to get through this weekend. And then, of course, Elizabeth comes in to just fan the flames because that's what she does.
She just wants to bring you to her level. You know that, right?
I have so much built up inside.
But listen, I just say calling a woman a bitch is not cool.
That is hilarious. So he got actually angry. Like, he actually looked angry there, and he ended up calling Jasmine a bitch. And, you know, the reality is, so what? A word's a word. You know, she calls people worse anyway, so whatever, who cares? But the funny thing about Kara coming up over to him is saying she was basically building him up, trying to get this thing going, but all of a sudden, he calls Jasmine a bitch, and then it's a step too far. Calling a woman a bitch, it's like, you asked for this. You built him up for what? You shouldn't have even been in on this. And for whatever reason, you have some weird obsession with Gino, being pro Gino, like ride or die. You don't have to like Jasmine, but it's kind of awkward how much Kara is going on Gino's side here. It's really kind of weird. But yet, he took it a step too far for even her.
Bitch.
Oh, okay. Yep. So this is Gino's luggage. So she rubs her strawberries and all kinds of things from her drink. And then she ends up pouring her drink into his bag. But it goes a step further. Yes, you are looking at what she is actually doing. She is taking her underwear, rubbing her whatever the hell she's got going on down there all over his bag and putting his underwear in, or putting her underwear in his bag. Yes, that is Jasmine in a nutshell. She shows her true colors of what she actually is by basically doing one of the most unsanitary things you can do and acting like she doesn't care.
Today, I got my man with me, and whatever you do to me, you know, Matt is going to have a problem with that. So
yeah, Matt's not going to do a damn thing. Matt is actually the opposite, but Jasmine thrives on someone actually fighting for her, and not even like someone trying to protect her like a man should protect his girlfriend, wife, woman, whoever. A man should protect them. But that's not what this is even. She's trying to get something going to have someone fight on her behalf, whether it's justified or not. And it's funny because we start to see for Matt that he's not really he's trying to keep things calm. It's really funny that he's actually kind of shifted. He's not trying to have all that drama. He's actually got the kid now that he's trying to just be a dad to, and Jasmine is still her same immature self.
One couple who will not be featured on the tell-all is Tiger Lily and Adnan.
Oh, you know, the funny thing about that is Tiger Lily and Adnan not to be featured. I completely forgot they were like a part of the season because they kind of cut out after, you know, whatever, they just they stopped being shown after a period of time. So I don't know if they just said they wanted to stop being filmed or what it was, but I kind of like, I guess I got things conflated with other seasons because it was so long ago in the season, but it's kind of funny. They're not going to be a part of it, so I guess maybe they are fired from the show. Who knows?
You know, I just want a little more transparency and openness from him.
Oh, okay. How about you stop being worrisome in almost everything and trying to get attention and fake crying and doing all that? Georgie has some weird stuff too, from hiding the money and things of that nature. So obviously there's things to work out on both sides. But Darcy is just acting again like she is, like many of the people on this show do when it's not, the attention's not on them. They try to act like they're the victim. It's trying to pull back the attention. Darcy's trying to remain relevant. It would not shock me if Georgie actually did cheat on her. Wouldn't shock me at all. But she's trying to remain relevant. She had a failed show with her sister that didn't last, but I don't know how many, maybe a couple seasons, I don't remember. But it's irrelevant now. So she's got to remain or try to cling on to her relevance with 90 Day Fiancé. And guess what that means? You need a fiancé, a husband, somebody from another country. So she'll make it last as long as Georgie as she can. And it wouldn't shock me if she gets another one after that if they divorce.
Into some nice pair of earrings for Matilda, my daughter.
Why on earth would you... Okay, so what she said is she took the wedding band she had from Gino and she melted them down for earrings for Matilda. Why? I mean, even if you don't want to give the wedding band back because you're like, I'm not giving you that back, whatever, you're mad or whatever the case may be, why would you melt them down to give them to your daughter who is not his daughter? It's weird. And someone made a point later, like, how are you going to explain what happened there? That your ex-husband had a ring you melted down? It's really weird, and Matt should be mad about this too.
She wanted to have a child with me. She's such a liar.
Wow, Jasmine.
Notice how she gets extremely emotional when it comes to the Gino stuff. Now, I really don't believe what she's doing. It seems like she busts out the tears. Even though we see tears on this one, I think she can just make herself cry. I think that's the kind of person she is. That's the manipulative person she is. I don't believe a thing she's doing. And it's one thing I actually agree with Gino on here.
I believe this crocodile tear crying stuff for a long time.
Yes. Yes, 100%. And that's all it is crocodile tears. I don't believe that she's actually feeling some kind of way about that. It's funny that she busts that out when it starts to make it look like it's a situation where it doesn't exactly look good for her. She got pregnant by another guy. You can sell the whole open marriage as much as you want, even though Gino agreed to it, which he was a dummy. Keep the language nice. He was a dummy for, and we all know that, and that was one of his biggest mistakes because he's stupid too. But it just doesn't look good on your part that you got pregnant by this other guy. Seems like you knew him beforehand, so it seems like you were cheating beforehand. So none of it looks good for you. So she busts out the tears to try to bring people back to feel bad for her.
She passed a lie detector test last year. She sucked your toes.
Okay. The lie detector test doesn't. There's a reason that lie detector tests are not admissible in court. It's because either they can be beat, they're not 100% reliable. If you're someone who believes your own lies, you can pass a lie detector test. It's all about raising your heart rate and things like that, your physiological conditions. That's why they do a baseline, all these things. It can be beat. If it couldn't be beat, then it would be able to be used in court. So that doesn't say much saying she beat a lie detector test. She might have actually convinced herself that she did love you in the moment. Who knows? Or she's just good at like that. It could be either.
Straight away.
Why you stay with him and you decide to drop from marriage?
It's my fault.
And there it is.
Georgie, bring the victim because...
She went from 0 to sad to pissed in no time flat. This is how quickly she flips. So what she was trying to do here is rehab her image. She knows she doesn't look good in a lot of these things. She can claim so much it's the storytelling. She can claim so much it's the producer. She can claim so much all this. But the fact is she's constantly doing things that make her look bad. So now she's trying to rehab her image. Well, it didn't go her way. The crying didn't work. Someone said, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you just get a divorce? And then she gets mad and gets up, stands up, basically yells, screams, says, oh, of course it's all my fault. She basically let down the facade very quickly. She could not hold it together. And we get the real Jasmine.
Relax, honey.
And of course, she comes back after storming out, crying, and then you have people like the host comforting her. I understand. I'm not super mad at the host because she's doing a job. She's got to be there. She's got to do things like this. But this is what happens. And then people feel bad and buy into the crocodile tears, which Gino is actually right about. And then we're back to where we started, where she can be like, oh, yeah, people feel bad for me. Yeah, it's all dumb.
Would you marry me?
I love you so much. But right now, I don't have an answer.
Yes. Love the fake tears and love the shutdown. The one guy that seems like, look, for as much as I haven't liked Matt in the past because he was a part of the cheating and everything, he actually seems like he's trying to make it work, whether that's just because they have a kid together or whatever. He's trying to do the right thing. And she's like, nope. I'm not having it. I'm going to have my single life. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do whatever. I got my accessory baby that I can use in all my TikToks now. So she's like, nope. So I kind of feel bad for Matt because I think he genuinely is trying to be a good dad here. And Jasmine is just being Jasmine.
I love Matt, and I can see a future with him. I don't think that I want to marry anyone ever.
Damn. So she says, I love Matt. I can see a future with Matt. I don't want to marry anyone ever. Holy crap, the levels of backflips you have to do to justify everything you just said by basically saying, I want to be with you, I love you, but hell no, I ain't marrying you. I mean, Matt's kind of getting what he deserves by being a part of this to begin with. I don't think he's super upset because he does have his daughter who he loves, so good for him. But this is Jasmine to the T, and you should have known what you were getting into.
Give that power to anyone again. If things don't work out, I don't ever want to hear from Matt, oh, you used me from a green card because you needed permanent.
So the guy that literally was begging you to marry him in America, that you already have a kid with, and you're saying, I don't want anyone to say that. Yeah, I don't think it's quite the same as Gino, who, by the way, his claims ain't working either, although I wouldn't be mad if she got shipped back to Panama, so sorry, wouldn't lose sleep over that one. But it's not working for Gino. It wouldn't happen for Matt. You're making excuses here because you want to be single. You want to live the single life. That's it. That's your excuse. You want to do what you want to do. You don't want to be tied down even for someone that actually seems to care about you.
I'm not ready.
I just want to see, is it going to come one day, or are we just doing this until you get bored?
Oh, and what would happen then? Oh, the same thing that happened to Gino. So he basically said, I'm just seeing, are we doing this thing until you do the same thing that we did to Gino with another guy, which absolutely will happen.
He says, okay, I'm not living like this. You're fine? You're fine with that?
I want to be with him. But I'm not ready to that kind of commitment.
Exactly. So she won't answer the question. They basically ask, what if he says, I'm done with this, I'm not going to live like this, and moves on? And then she's like, I love him, but I'm not ready for... She never answers the question because she knows that if he were to say to her tomorrow, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to move on, we can figure out the custody and things like that of Matilda, but I'm going to move on with my life because I actually want to be married and all these things. Yeah, she would lose her-ish. So, and she just won't admit it.
You kicked her out.
I kicked her out because she cheated on me.
Okay.
And spent the night at Matt's house.
Can you just shut your mouth for a moment? No.
So they completely changed. So his family here, basically, they were just saying she didn't cheat on him before. Now they're like, well, you kicked her out. That's why we're on her side. And he says, I kicked her out because she cheated on me. And they say, even if that's so they've definitely flipped the script. I think they know she probably cheated, but they've dug in their heels to be on Jasmine's side for some reason. I'm not saying it's easy to defend Gino, but when there's two bad answers and one of them's your relative, you probably go with your relative. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous how they've basically become best friends with Jasmine. They're basically easy. Michelle is easily manipulated and her husband went along. That's all it is. You can say things that Gino did was wrong. You could say he did bad things, but that's not what you're saying here. You're saying he did Jasmine wrong and she didn't do anything wrong. It's kind of a crazy thing that they were able to be manipulated like this. You should be smarter like this in your older age.
Gino and I would go to lunch a lot. And he had said to me, I knew 1 week after she got here I didn't want to be with her.
No, I never said.
Let's be honest about this. He is throwing something out there trying to justify that Gino was going to break up with her or something because they went to lunch and he said, I knew a weekend that I was going to break up with her. No, you know what happened was Jasmine and Gino fought all the time. So when he would get upset and he'd come and vent to you, he would say, I knew a weekend. That probably meant we were fighting, I didn't like it, things weren't going south. That's it. That doesn't mean he was keeping it going, but he really was trying to end things. And are you really that stupid to not believe he was venting to you because they had issues? You cannot be that dumb.
I will show the proof.
Go ahead, Gino.
I have phone records.
By the way, I called this. This is the dumbest thing I think Gino could do. Him claiming he has proof, and he busts out phone records that prove nothing other than numbers on a paper because he said so. All anecdotal, none of it proves a thing, and even though we all know she cheated on him, he's making himself look stupid. So what he did here is that I've got the evidence and then busted out phone numbers. That is the dumbest thing you could do. Unless you have recordings or something, leave it be. Say, I know she cheated. Of course she cheated. It makes sense. They were at the gym all the time together getting rides. But saying, I have these phone numbers, and then you really have nothing, it just makes you look dumb.
Bye.
Sit down and listen.
No, listen to what she's saying.
Sit down. Sit the down and listen. She doesn't want to hear.
Basically, Natalie comes in and says, I'm going to tell you I'm ashamed of you as a woman, which is kind of funny because Natalie's, not the sharpest knife in the drawer to get involved with Gino to begin with. But Jasmine was ridiculous in that bar and decided to attack her because she felt threatened, even though she already had moved on with another guy. It's all dumb. Either way, when that happens, what does Jasmine do? She storms off again. That's her only move.
We were not together. I was living with Matt, right? But we were not officially done.
She is trying so hard to justify what happened there. She was living with Matt, claiming that because Gino kicked her out, of course, it's because she was sleeping with Matt already, and yet it was before the open marriage, but the open marriage made their marriage fall apart completely, which who could have thought that? And now she's going to act like she's happy that, or unhappy that he was on a date when she brought Matt to the same party. It's all so stupid, and Jasmine holds herself off as some sort of intelligent person?
No, I'm not going to let go.
Let it go.
I'm not going to let immigration fraud go. Sorry.
Okay, he absolutely should let it go. At this point, he's holding on for no reason. The reality is nothing's going to happen. He's trying so hard to basically stick it to her when all it's going to do is drain his bank account. The same bank account he's claiming that he doesn't want her to get a hold of is going to be drained in court fees, and yet he could just let it go. Let her move on, whatever. Matt's going to be miserable either way, and he can move on with his life. But because Gino can't let it go, he's going to prolong the misery for himself because he's dumb. Gino's always been dumb. So continue on the stupidity, why don't you?
Sean, if you don't see me anymore, I got deported.
Oh, okay. So the funny thing is she was so upset about the whole immigration thing that she finds a way to crack a joke. Yeah, sure. Very upset.
That she's the one who mentioned body shaming. That's girl code. Sharing.
Okay, this whole girl code thing is ridiculous. You shouldn't have trusted any of these women on this show with any of your information. It's a reality show, and what do you think is going to happen? They're going to expose it because they want more attention, and Elizabeth definitely wants more attention.
I've talked to her privately.
Why are you so pissed if it's not true?
Yeah,
That's
because
what I
why
wanna
you
know.
keep denying it and after this affirming it and denying it and affirming it?
I'm not pissed.
So we just saw a primal case in gaslighting. So they said, if it's not true, why are you pissed? Alexei says, I'm not pissed. And then Elizabeth says, what do you mean you're not pissed? This is them basically saying, you're pissed. You are going to be pissed. You absolutely are pissed. And then all of a sudden he gets pissed. That's gaslighting right now, even though he's not pissed at all. He even said, I'm not mad. I'm not pissed. So this is kind of a textbook case, and it's good to see because everyone says gaslighting. You're gaslighting me. You're doing this. You're gaslighting me. When 99% of the time it's not true. So when we see an instance of where it is true, it's good to point out. And Elizabeth is the culprit.
Up there out of spite because you think that we did something wrong to you.
Well, you didn't do anything wrong by calling me a dick?
No.
You are a dick.
You're a dick.
So what? The same thing. Bitch, dick, whatever. You call someone a name, whatever. Who cares? Let it go. The fact is that Andrei threw a temper tantrum. Who cares? Just like Jasmine was throwing a temper tantrum because Gino called her a name. Who cares? Y'all are too sensitive. Let it go. Say your piece back or whatever. But sitting there and crying about it and saying, you did this to me, and so we're just going to formulate this feud is dumb.
Weights, calories. That same dietitian was talking to me, and I was part of this journey. It's not an easy thing to lose all this weight.
But why does she need to do that? I'm sorry. Why?
Because she wanted to, you freaking idiot. So he's explaining that they had a trainer. Loren wanted to lose weight. They had a trainer that was helping her. Her husband was a part of this journey to help keep her motivated. And so they're explaining all of this because they're trying to pin body shaming on him when he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Loren claims he didn't do it. He claims he didn't do it. And yet they're not producing any text messages really other than saying that there were text messages. So what it is was him trying to motivate. He even said, maybe I went too far sometimes. It is what it is. But then she says, but why were you doing that? Why would you do that to her? After Loren said she wanted it. So you're basically saying if she wants to lose weight, she shouldn't lose weight because then, oh, by the way, I don't know, fat pride or something? Like, what are you even talking about? You're being stupid. Elizabeth has got to be one of the dumbest women that's ever been on the show. The drama got intense and it did not let up, but this is part one of 4. We have 4 parts of this reality show in a house. It's like, I don't know, Married at First Sight getaway weekends with the couples meets 90-day fiance tell-all. So it should be interesting. They're going to build up the drama every time and then put them in front of the cameras. It's kind of genius. I got to give them credit for that. So we will see how it all plans out. But any kind of couples that might have made it, they probably don't have a chance now. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and watch the train wreck unfold. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. I will see y'all next time.